Time for our next award, and it's the first one regarding finishes. That's what we all come for, isn't it? We want that fight to end nice and quick in a dramatic way. We're going to start with submissions. And the breakdown king himself, Mr. Dan Hardy, has got stuck into the finest submissions that the UFC has seen in 2022. I'm going to hand over to him to give us his breakdown on which he feels is the best one.
We're always spoiled for choice when it comes to picking the submission of the year, and 2022 has been no different. I can think of loads of submissions off the top of my head that would have easily have taken the number one spot had it not been for the one that I selected. Of course, we've got Andrade with that beautiful standing arm triangle that she landed. Yuri Prochazka taking the light heavyweight belt off Glover Teixeira in the last 30 seconds. Beautiful rear naked choke. And of course, Islam Makhachev submitting Charles Oliveira and taking the lightweight belt. But the pick for me was easy. It had to be Nate Diaz with that guillotine that he landed on Tony Ferguson. Not only a beautiful submission, but to be able to go out in a blaze of glory on his own terms with a submission that he's known for. Because of course, he uses his boxing to back his opponent up against the fence where they don't feel like they've got any other option other than to level change. And straight away, what you'll see is Nate wrap over. He goes over with the right arm overhook, and then the left arm is searching for the chin strap on Tony Ferguson. He needs to get a bite on that chin so he stays connected as they fall into the floor. And as they fall into the floor, what you'll see is this overhook on the right arm slide onto the tricep. And that will expose the hand that's cupping the chin of Tony Ferguson, that's keeping Nate Diaz attached to his upper body. Now, as they land here, Tony almost pops his head out, and you'll see Nate bury his face into the neck of Tony Ferguson while he readjusts the grip. His right hand goes from overhook to reinforcing the left hand. And then he's going to readjust the grip until he feels like he's got a good control of the neck, and then he's going to throw right leg over the top and left leg butterfly hook to push away and give him some control. So he's got 2 points of control over the lower body. He's also going to have to make a slight readjustment and push on Tony Ferguson's shoulder so he can expose some fingertips to really put a squeeze on this. And there's one other key point that he does as well. Here's, you can see the level change. He's got a good bite on Tony Ferguson's neck. He throws his leg over. We're seeing the butterfly hook with the left hook, and as soon as Nate feels like he's got a good control of the neck, that foot comes out and goes onto the hip. So it's now pushing Tony Ferguson away. And, you know, of course, minor adjustments. Nate knows this submission inside out. He's landed it so many times, both in practice and in fights. And this is the best angle for me. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing the arm of Nate Diaz. We're seeing him drive into his own fist to squeeze this gap on Tony Ferguson's neck even tighter. We've got the control with the top leg. We've got the control with the bottom leg. Several different things going on to finish this guillotine. But of course, it's a Nate Diaz speciality. And what a way to finish his UFC career. Go out in a blaze of glory and submit Tony Ferguson.
Quality stuff, Mr. Hardy. Thank you very much for that. His submission of the year going to Nate Diaz. Listen, the best thing about that as well, obviously, the submission itself is one, the pause, Mike, but two, being able to do it with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining on the clock. You know what I mean? You've got to represent the Stockton. That's what you've got to do. You've got to get the area code in there if you're going to be finishing someone, Mike. Did you ever get, what was it, BB6? Where are you from? BB5? What was yours?
BB7 crew in the house. Okay.
Gotta get the postcode in, bro.
Wasn't he in Star Wars? Isn't he the
don't mess
in
with
Star
the
Wars?
BB7, what's up, yo? Yeah, look, listen, the thing about submissions is that they're extremely technical, but they don't have to be. I mean, the guillotine essentially can be one of the most basic submissions, but there's a lot of different varieties. But as you say, to do it, such high stakes and then such a highly anticipated fight, incredible. A lot of other great matchups on there as well, and a lot of submissions, pardon me. One that I feel that needs a special shout out is Justin Gagey versus Charles Oliveira. Again, another title fight. There were some great ones this year. Jessica Andrade, the standing head and arm choke of Amanda Lemos early in the first round. That was very, very impressive as well. Nick, no doubt you've got a couple for us as well.
Yeah, listen, again, Yuri Prochazka's finish of Glover Teixeira. Come on, man, to win the title.
Guillotines all over the place.
Unreal.
No.
But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll throw in.
Takes. You know,
yeah, exactly.
go
I'll
platters.
throw in something a bit different. I've got something a bit different. I'll throw in A triangle. Paul Craig
go.
versus Nikita Krylov. London, March. Probably the best submission
Nice.
I've seen live this year. Big Paulie Craig. Sensational stuff.
I've got another one. Claudio Puelles over Clay Guida, the knee bar. It's a little more complicated. You know, the triangle's a good one. Shout out Paul Craig. But yeah.
Can I just ask you two, right? You've done this all year. Whenever you say Paul Craig's name on this
Paulie
show,
Craig.
you
Paul
have
Craig.
to do it in a Scottish accent. What's the crack with
Wee
that?
Paulie Craig.
Paul Craig. That's his name.
it.
You know, in America, I've said this many times, they make a big deal out of saying the names, how they say it. And John Anik even says Paul Craig. And I'm like, you don't have to do a Scottish accent. Do you know what I mean? You just, like, he'll go, rara, cataral, if you're from South America.
yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not rolling my tongue. I'm not from Mexico. And you're not from Scotland, Paul Craig. That's what they do, though.
I love it.
Oh,